Hi guys, how are you? So welcome back to my channel. My name is Mumina. I'm a registered dietitian and I create content on child nutrition, breastfeeding, pregnancies, all matters nutrition and health. If that is something that might interest you, click that subscribe button and join the community. So in today's video, I am going to talk about the impact of social media on breastfeeding. I'm sure you have seen your favorite influencer, your favorite content creator being engaged in various policy making engagements. You have also seen products and companies actually being endorsed by these social media influencers because they have realized the important role that these social media influencers actually have when it comes to relaying of information through social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, name them. And of course, with the rise of anything good, there will be negative impact, and this is definitely where as dietitians we have concerns, because some of these social media influencers are actually propagating false information regarding breastfeeding. So I want us to understand first the positive impact that social media influencers or social media has on breastfeeding. The first thing is it can be a platform where health workers, registered dietitians, or even nurses can actually use to educate the masses, like what I'm doing currently, because I want you as the mom to ensure that your baby reaps all the benefits of breastfeeding, from proper and promoted immune function to proper gut functionality, proper growth and development, reduced occurrences of metabolic disorders, diseases, proper mental health, among other benefits. And for you as a mom, you get definitely to lose the extra weight that you gain during pregnancy. You get to reduce the risk of getting reproductive cancers like breast cancers, cervical and uterine cancers and such. The second thing is it provides a community whereby mothers can actually engage with other mothers through the comment section. Like for most content creators, after they release a certain content, if you go to their comment section, you'll find mothers talking about their experiences, sharing, and this brings about that feeling of community, like I am not in this alone, I am not struggling alone. For that mom who thought maybe she was the only one experiencing challenges with breastfeeding, they'll feel at home, they'll feel supported, and that form of community engagement, community support is very important to reduce the excess stress that a mom might be having because of certain challenges. Another thing that social media influencers can actually do to promote breastfeeding is when they share their experiences, this will definitely show another mom out there struggling with breastfeeding that it is actually very possible to follow through with what my dietitian told me, without my nurse or without my physician told me. They act like a role model to these breastfeeding moms. And that is very, very important when it comes to behavior change, because role model or mentors are actually key in driving change or promoting any form of actions. Unfortunately, in the same space of social media, there are social influencers who actually don't care about whether what they are doing is right, whether what they are doing is scientific. They just want to chase clout, and they will do anything for the likes, the comments. So they end up creating content that is controversial and does not support things like breastfeeding. Like you'll find a mom or you'll find a content creator who's sitting down and actually promoting use of substitutes because it is easy according to her, because her breast won't sag, and because she can engage in sexual activities with her partner better or faster or sooner because she won't be having those milk leaks. Those are false. Avoid such content creators, because fast breastfeeding does not sag boobs. And if you don't want to breastfeed, there are pumps that you can actually pump your breast milk out and feed your baby using a cup and a spoon. Though I think if you can breastfeed, please breastfeed, because it creates that emotional connection, it creates that bond between you and the baby, and it is very important for the social and emotional connection, because when you're breastfeeding, your baby is looking up to you and they are getting familiar with your face, they are getting familiar with your emotions. You're also communicating with the baby, so it is a very important gesture of love and care for you as a mom to breastfeed. When it comes to sexual encounters with your partners, you breastfeed or you express, then you engage in sexual activities, nothing will happen to your boobs. You'll not be leaking unless you go for long hours without breastfeeding, of which if you are far away from your baby, you can always express and store, or express and discard if you don't have the storage facilities or the equipment that will keep the breast milk safe for the long periods until you get to your baby. So how can you as a mom protect yourself against the false information? The first thing is to ensure that as you consume that content, you also take in your healthcare advices positively. Positively because you can come to me, I tell you all the benefits of breastfeeding. I even show you how to promote and how to ensure that you are producing enough quality breast milk for your baby. But if you've not consumed that information with the right attitude, you will not be able to actionalize it. I'm not saying that you ignore your influencers completely, because some of them have very good content. We have doctors, we have dietitians. I myself am creating content. As you listen to your influencer, you also make sure that you're listening and you're marrying that with the scientific evidence-based practices or advices that your dietitian or your healthcare worker is going to give you. Another thing that you can do is join those supportive communities that are run by healthcare workers, lactation professionals, because they'll be sharing information. Like for instance, I have a community whereby I charge you 3,000 per month. You join that community, we talk about all matters breastfeeding. If you're breastfeeding, even if it will be just me and you, we will be there, the community, the two of us. We will talk about what you have heard about breastfeeding. We will talk about how to engage you into ensuring that you are promoting and providing adequate milk for your baby. And of course, you'll definitely have experiences from the mothers, from the professionals who are mothers as well. Another thing that you need to do is to ensure that you set realistic expectations in accordance with yourself. You know, we are all built different, and of course we have different genes, we have different environmental exposures, social economic abilities and such. If you want to follow an influencer, let's say the Yummy Mommy, was all about promoting mixed feeding, promoting formula feeding and such. At the moment, a formula tin is retailing at 1,900 or 2,000 Kenyan shillings. That feed will not even last your baby 1 week. As you start something regarding your baby's feeding sessions or feeding routines or feeding ways, ensure that that something is as realistic and as practical to your settings, to your abilities and to your financial muscles as it can be. Breastfeeding is free. If you eat well, if you sleep well, you will be able to produce enough milk for your baby for the first 6 months. And if you continue eating well, you'll still continue to produce quantity milk for your baby to complement the feeds that you'll be giving them after the 6 months. You are enough. You can do it for your baby. Trust me, you can do it. Believe you me, you can. You can. And then when you're breastfeeding, make sure that you are hydrating. Another thing is avoid misinformation as much as you can. Sometimes it's almost impossible because you log into TikTok and the first video will be about your influencers. I say as much as you can, remember why you started and just try as much as you can to avoid misinformation. So as we mark World Breastfeeding Awareness Week, these are some of the things that we should actually be expecting from our influencers. The first one is we should actually ensure that we engage with them and ask them to give us realistic, evidence-based and practical information when it comes to breastfeeding. You can do this by commenting on their content in the comment section, telling them what you expect from them, because they read. Even if they don't read, their personal assistants are reading and they'll definitely give the feedback back. Another thing is to also remind them that there are laws that protect and promote breastfeeding in the country. The Breast Milk Substitute Act that actually goes against marketing of substitutes. So those influencers who are actually engaging in marketing breast milk substitute formulas and such are actually committing a crime, because there is a law that is against that, and that law was not made overnight. It was made over research and facts on breastfeeding and why it is necessary and why it is important for mothers to breastfeed. The benefits of breastfeeding were put in place, the downsides of it were also put in place, analyzed. There has been amendments over time to ensure that these are up to date and they are actually realistic. So as an influencer who is doing mom content or motherhood content, shy away from creating content that promotes breast milk substitutes. It's illegal. The Health Act in Kenya also promotes or provides that companies and even institutions, both public, private, and even non-governmental, they provide a free environment to ensure that mothers are supported to promote breastfeeding. Again, if you are running these organizations, it is important that you also ensure that you are in line with the current guidelines and the current practices to promote breastfeeding, because as we always say, your mama, your bamba, and your best. And that is where we must make sure that we bring our influencers on board to support and promote the breastfeeding, because unless we do that, the numbers in Kenya will stagnate, because currently social media can reach a mass in seconds. You have seen the Gen Z protest, how they worked. you cannot ignore the power of social media in this social media era. Then we cannot ignore social influencers as well. So if we bring them on board as professional, as dietitians, we'll definitely win over masses better than when we try and ignore or work against them. So we need to make sure that they are following laws, they are putting out relatively relatable, scientific and well-researched content. We can work with them if it's possible. If you're a dietitian, work with an influencer who's working on motherhood content. Let them help you reach masses. I'm also trying to do the same here. Anyway, let me know some of your challenges when it comes to breastfeeding in the comment section down below. I will definitely be addressing that, and because it's Breastfeeding Awareness Week, I will definitely take up the month of August to create content on breastfeeding awareness, how to promote breastfeeding, how to overcome challenges, what you can do if you are at home and you're struggling with breastfeeding, and many other things. So thank you so much for watching. Ensure that you are subscribed to join this community. We grow together, because here we are talking about all matters relatable, realistic and evidence-based content. I publish a video every week, and if I don't, the next week I'll publish two, because I just have to keep up the commitment. Sometimes things happen, life happens, but we are committed to this. Let's remember that your mama is your best, and let's continue promoting and supporting breastfeeding. If you have a breastfeeding mom at home, ensure that you're supporting them. Help them with the baby, help them get some rest, help them with even preparing a meal, help them to go get some sun when it's sunny. Just support them the best way that you can, because emotional support is very, very critical when it comes to breastfeeding. Thank you for watching, and until next time, ensure that you watch this playlist next on breastfeeding, and let's meet there. Bye.